Hi everybody, welcome to our little chi sessions online. I'm just going to do a little half-hour session today, and we can next week connect. I'll try and do some more in the week if it becomes doable. Next week you can actually live stream via level 6 yoga, because they're going to take me I'm doing these as free sessions, by the way. So welcome, and let's just ground. For anyone who's not done Qigong before, please have a chair behind you, because this is just easy stuff, but sometimes it makes you tired, and I don't want anyone falling down or doing something like that. So starting with the feet, really start to put your feet on the ground. So just gently, just padding, placing, walking like a bear, whatever you want to feel, walking like a duck. That's always quite a good way of feeling your feet just going right the way through the whole of the foot, moving down onto the earth. And if you can bring your hands into the movement as well, like this, you'll kind of get the sense of your feet and your hands really starting to ground and earth and bring us down into the belly. So the belly, just below the navel, is the lower dantian. That's where we're often trying to work from. So very gently just spreading the weight across the foot, across the hand. You can imagine the foot like a duck's foot, just with long webs. And then just let that come back to stillness. So just feeling that ground below your feet. You've started to lower your center of gravity already. So with your awareness in the belly, just start a little shake. Let the hands down, start a little shake. When we shake, we're just using gravity to start to loosen off tension, wherever it may be. Wherever we're feeling it in our body, starting in Qigong to use this little time to really start to feel how it is being inside you. So when there's a lot of fear going around or stress, we often lose contact with our body. It's a part of the fight or flight mechanism, in order for us to get through times of difficulty. But this is a time of change. We have to see this as an opportunity for change. We're having clean air for the first time in London ever, and we're having quiet skies, realizing the amount of noise we live with in London. So tune into that aspect of this situation and tune out of any fear. Fear is there to lower our immune system. Qi is in our system, which is the energy, the flow of energy, which raises our immune system. So we're working, shaking like this. You're starting to loosen tension. So we have tension around the calves. Can you feel? Bring your mind's eye down to the calves. Tension. You can shake the calves. Literally using your mind's eye and your power of your imagination. Visualize your calves just flopping off your tibia and fibula. Shaking your thigh muscles, so the muscles loosening on the femur. So you can almost imagine your thighs are just flapping off the bones. So this not only releases the idea of tension that we hold in the fascia, the connective tissue, but it brings us deep into our skeletal form, where the bone structure, the bony structure of our bodies holds that ultimate strength. So softening the muscles on the buttocks and the belly and the back, using your mind's eye to pay attention and imagine sensations, and letting the tension shake off the hands. So bring the hands up into the shake. Visualize the thumbs just becoming long, rubbery, loose. The joints, the knuckles starting to become elastic, almost elastic. So you want to loosen the joints in the forefingers, the knuckles. You're going to undo the tightness around the knuckles, the middle fingers and the ring fingers and the little fingers. So shaking the whole hand and allowing that sense of the hands to just become almost full of water, as if you were then being able to flick the water off the hands. And then up to the elbows, so shaking the forearms, and right the way up to the shoulders, so you can drop the whole arm out of the shoulder joint. Good, so you can now notice your shoulder blades. You're shaking them, sliding them up and down along the ribs at the back. Shaking out tension, releasing the held habit that we build into our system as ways of getting through. Okay, let that start to settle and go quiet for a moment, just standing in the stillness, just maybe looking down with your eyes. Try not to shut your eyes, sometimes people can get dizzy. So just letting yourself feel how it is from the inside out. And drawing your attention from your mind's eye down to the belly. Let the belly start to rise and fall. So this time the arms are going to just swing easily with that, rising and falling at the belly. Good. So the knees are soft. The knees act like springs. You want to imagine you have Zebedee in your knees. They are just springing and allowing the belly to rise and fall, bouncing, arms floating up, falling back. No effort is required. You're using gravity. Your arms fall down and they float back. You're learning to work with effortless non-effort. That's the idea behind Qigong. Effortless non-effort. So turn the palms to just face up, letting that tiny little different movement have an effect. There will be different meridians. Each of these very simple forms will be working on. And letting that just fly over your head a little bit, so you tap at the back of the neck. So you're tapping at the top of the thoracic spine if you can, or onto the shoulders at the back if you can. So just tapping, starting to self-massage any tension that's built up. So letting the arms just flow over the head, fall back. Again, nothing really effortful. And let that come back to stillness, down to the belly, and then just start to turn from the lower dantian. So keeping your feet a shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider for this one. Your knees are soft, they're slightly bent. And you are just turning around that midline that balancing line that comes down from the stars, right down through the center of your body and out through each foot and deeply roots you into the ground. So as you root yourself downward, so become aware of that line of light that reaches right the way up to the pole star, and feel that mid-line axis and literally just flow around it like water going down a plug hole. You're just the vortex of chi, but you're going one way and then the other. So just focusing on that midline and letting the flow of energy find its way out through your fingertips, wrapping your arms softly around you. You're going to feel that little massage against the belly. You can open the palm, just tap onto the belly, tap onto the kidney at the back if you can, just bending the elbows softly and letting that come right down into your awareness. You're twisting around that midline and letting everything gently find its way back to stillness. So back into stillness, just bring your feet back to shoulder width apart and just let yourself settle again. So settling, just coming into stillness, letting everything disappear from your mind, that is recurring thoughts. We want to get out of this 24 hours news madness that is going on. Come into the present moment, give yourself a present. Listen to the birds and have this time to reflect. So just letting that settle, you're going to breathe in, and as you breathe in, feel the breath coming up through the feet, through the legs, into the belly, and the hands float up on the breath. And as you breathe out, let everything flow back down again, like water running, puddling down into the mud. Breath coming in, water flowing out, down, out of the rock. The bubbling springs drawing the breath in, you're going to draw that up, and the bubbling springs softly lowering, flowing the water back down into the rock around the edge. Breath coming in, breath coming out. So the whole body is rising up as you breathe in, drawing that up, straightening the legs slightly and flowing back. Focusing on the breath, you're going to lengthen the breath and you're going to balance the breath. So it's longer than your normal breath, but it's the same time it takes to breathe in as it does to breathe out. So when we balance the breath in this way, we're changing the brain chemistry. We are making an intervention ourselves to say, the danger is over. We now have a present moment to gather and work out what needs to be done. What is the job in hand? Breathing in, light, drawing up into the belly, nourishing, and as you breathe out, flowing back. Breath coming in this time, let it come right the way up, past the lungs, pushing gently up towards the sky, and flowing all the way down, breath going out, returning. So the breath is getting longer, breathing in, you're going to turn the hands, push gently up, breathing in, and breathing out. Flowing down, try not to hurry the breath out. It's still at that steady pace. Breath in, rising up out of the top of the head, out of the fingertips, flowing right the way out, down like a fountain, all the way back to earth. Breath coming in, drawing that up, out of the top of the head, out of the fingertips, flowing out, breath going down. Breathing in, letting that flow up, and breathing out, you're going to let that flow down. Just a couple more. So as we lengthen our breath, remember we're literally changing the stress hormone messages from the pituitary and the hypothalamus gland. We are actually making an intervention on our mental state. We have the breath is the key to unlocking the state that we can get in of stuck high levels of cortisol or adrenaline. So undoing that by deliberately changing the rate at which we breathe. Brilliant. Let that settle. And having slowed your breathing, again, just have a little moment to acknowledge, a little moment to understand how that feels. As you understand the sensations coming through the body, you're going to breathe in. This time, just let the hands come up slowly and return. So what we were doing before, we were using the sense of dropping with gravity. This time we're actually going to breathe it as if the whole area was surrounded by silky, smooth, fluid energy that you could almost stroke with your fingers. Your breath is coming in. You're going to softly allow the wrists to rise up and the underside of the wrists to lead as you go down. So the top of the wrists are leading, the underside of the wrists are leading back. The belly is rising, the whole of the body filling with breath. The wrists are soft, and the wrists again soft as you breathe out. Belly's rising, legs straightening, and the belly is sinking, and the legs softening. Underside of the top side of the wrists leading, and the underside leading back. Breath coming easily in, flowing back. Just let that come with one hand coming up, leave the other hand by your side. And then as that comes down, the other comes up. So you're going to do equal and opposite, just allowing that softening of the wrists. Belly rising as the first arm comes up, softening. Breathing nice and easily. Whatever you do, don't hold your breath. You don't have to keep your breath in time with this. But you want that quality of softness, of fluid energy connecting right the way through your body, so as if your arms were just completely bendy, and connecting that softness, that bendiness with the quality of viscous, silky chi that is the sea of energy that we are living in. Good, just let that come back to stillness, just resting here and here. So when we're holding here and here, we can just almost start to feel the quality of energy draining into our hands. Sometimes you get a sense of tingling or slight weightiness or warmth. Whatever there are in the way of sensations in your body, just be interested in them, be curious and be connected. So much of our lives we spend with our brains, our frontal lobes literally going 20 yards ahead of us. And poor little body running to catch up, going, wait for me. This is a time to come back into one piece, brain, breath and body. So as you breathe in this time, let the hands come up and flow back down. So you're just going to circle in front of the body, drawing that breath up, turning the hands, flowing back down. Starting to notice there's almost a weight and there's a bit of a resistance. As if you were gently patting down onto the earth and as if you were gently pulling up out of the earth. So that quality of elasticity, fluid, moving away from our tendency to be brittle. So we want to move away from the quality of brittleness, which tends to happen with age or with our repetitive thoughts or with our fixed ideas or with fear. We become frozen with fear. That needs to go. We're putting in place this connectivity, this sense of being joined with everything in the universe, connecting through the chi running through our bodies, flowing in, flowing out. And the task at hand while we're alive is to balance the heavenly and the earthly chi. So keeping this lovely soft movement circling, I want you to just bring one hand up, and as that comes down on the inside of the body, the other comes up on the outside. So you're just winding your skein of chi wool in front of you. Again, try not to worry about your breathing or your getting it right or wrong, just trying to just connect, make sure your breathing is flowing whatever, and what's happening is the connection from the whole of your body through your feet right the way up into the connection with the chi as you wind that energy, that energetic flow around the microcosmic orbit. Feeling like a skein of wool, there is a slight tension between the two. They're keeping their connection even though they're not together. Your hands are social distancing. But the chi is connecting us all. And the connection here when you're rising and falling, allow yourself to now just move that into slightly moving with the energy. So as you come down with one hand, you can move that energy across that side, push gently down, feel it going right through your foot that has the weight on it, drawing that up, transferring the weight from side to side. You don't want to be bending your spine or twisting, you're just sliding across, moving the weight from side to side. Good. Again, just really making sure your shoulders are not coming to the party. Your shoulders are they're going to try and become like your hips. You want them right down, hanging off your belt. Because sure as eggs is eggs, a lot of the time they spend up trying to be your ears. And that does you and us no favours. So Qigong, we're lowering our centre of gravity, moving the energy from the shoulders, from the neck, down into the belly, sliding the weight from side to side, keeping that quality of fluid energy moving, light, drawing in breath, letting the breath flow out. Good, and then just let that get smaller and smaller, come back into the center, just let everything settle for a few moments. Drop your chin onto your chest, let the hands down by your side. Feel your feet really rooting you, the soles of your feet down onto the earth. Feel the spine just getting stretched right the way round the neck to ensure that nice stretch in the spine. The quality of chi can come right into the spine, and then lowering your head as if you were rolling your head down your belly, as if it was a ball and you could take it off and roll it down your belly, roll it down your thighs, and then just hang with your knees soft. Your knees are bent. Just hang from your pelvis and get a chance to let your head gently pull your spinal column apart. Dropping from the pelvis, the whole spine gets a chance to just hang out in the opposite direction to normal. Great, and then just coming up, you're going to uncurl, but you're not going to seesaw up. You're going to uncurl as if you were going to roll that ball, your head back up your legs, up your belly. You're unfurling from the base of your spine. You're going to unfurl until finally the head can just float on top of your lovely stretched out spine. So that's probably enough for today. We're going to breathe in, let the hands come right the way up, and come down the front of the body, flowing, earthing, grounding right through your feet into the earth.